Chris here, and I've had a number of people ask me on the Facebook owners group how to rotate the handlebars around on the Lectric XP. So this is what the Lectric looks like with the handlebars in the normal position. The reach is right around 26 inches or so. And then this is what the handlebars look like when you rotate them around. And then the reach goes to about 21 inches or so. So when you rotate the handlebars around, you can gain about 5 inches of reach. So this is going to be great if you have a hard time reaching the handlebars. There's no extra cost. There are going to be a couple of extra tools that you might need. The first is going to be, you're going to need a 6mm Allen wrench. I like to use these Park Tool P-handle wrenches. I'll leave a link in the description below. You're also going to need a 4mm Allen wrench. I like to use just the 4mm out of my Crank Brothers multi-tool. I'll leave a link to this in the description also. And then you're also going to need a Phillips screwdriver, one that has kind of a sharp point, at least a number 2. I kind of like these ones that separate a lot and have multiple bits. I'll leave a link in the description for one of those also. So now I'll show you exactly how you can rotate your own handlebars and shorten your reach. And then also at the end of the video, there's an important tip on why some of you may not want to do this, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. The first thing you're going to want to do is find your little thing here that folds down the handlebars, and just go ahead and fold those down. And then once you have this folded here, you'll notice that under here there's a 6mm bolt that we need to get to, but it's kind of hard to get to it with this in the way. So it's pretty easy just to get this out of the way. So if you look underneath here, right inside there, there's a little Phillips bolt. So we want to go ahead and pull that out. So you can go ahead and pull that bolt all the way out. And sometimes it'll drop on the floor. And just set that little bolt aside. And then you'll notice on here, there's this little silver piece that slides. You can pop that off, and I'd go ahead and pull the spring off, so those don't fall on the floor. Just set them aside. Now we have easy access to this 6mm Allen bolt that's right here. So go ahead and using your P-handle wrench, we're gonna stick that in there, and you can turn it counterclockwise, and it's pretty tight, but you just want to loosen it up a little bit. You don't need to pull it all the way out. Then you can kind of put your handlebars back up straight and just spin them all the way around. I'm doing this and I'm holding the front wheel with my legs here and just spinning the handlebars all the way around till they're nice and straight. And then you kind of have to fold this back down and get in here and tighten this guy again. And you may have to do this like a couple of times to make sure that the handlebars are straight, because you want them lined up nice and straight with the bike here. And once you have them good and straight, then you want to cinch this bolt down nice and tight, pretty much as tight as you can get it. And then you can let the handlebars just sit off to the side. Then we want to go ahead and grab our little pieces that we removed and flip this little thing back up. We're going to slide the spring back on first, and then you're going to take this silver piece with this little nub and put the little nub side down. And this kind of has a flat side on the top of it, so you want that flat side pointing up. And we're going to fold it back over, and it's kind of a tricky part because inside here you need to get this bolt to go back through the hole, and then you need to slide this back over and connect it. So once you've got the bolt going back through the hole and you've lined this back up, just go ahead and thread that back in, and you'll see it kind of sits back on so that it's nice and easily connected here. So this little nub is pointing back this direction, and this is back on, just the way you took it off. and then tighten that back up nice and tight. So that's nice and snug. Then you can fold your handlebars back up and they'll be pointing in the other direction. But you'll notice now we have this pointing this direction, but the handlebars themselves are all turned around backwards, and that's no good. So what we want to do is we're going to come over here and we're just going to gently rotate this display out of the way, and then you'll notice under here there's 2 bolts for this plate right here. We're going to need to loosen those up and take this plate off, and these are 4mm Allens. So for this one I just use my trusty multi-tool right here. This is the Crank Brothers one. Love this thing. Grab the 4mm out of it, and you're just going to go ahead and loosen these bolts, and these ones you are actually going to take all the way out. So these are just the 2 bolts on the top here, and you can unscrew those all the way. So now once you have these 2 bolts out completely, you want to hang on to those, and you're just going to remove this little top plate right here. So hang on to all of this. Now you can actually lift up your handlebars and flip them around the other direction. So if you notice on here, there's these little ridges cut in to help keep this from sliding. You want to make sure that these are just centered on this stem here, and then go ahead and put this top plate back on and use your 2 bolts and screw it back in. Now as you're screwing these back in, you'll notice that this plate sandwiches the handlebar onto the stem, and there's these little gaps underneath them. So you want to tighten these so that the gaps underneath are pretty even. They don't have to be exact. And then just make sure they're nice and snug. And then now you can line up your handlebars, and if you need to rotate the handlebars a little bit, you can just loosen one of these guys up with your 4mm, and you can rotate your handlebars so that your brake levers and your shifters and everything are nice and easy to get. And once you've rotated them so that you're in a good spot and you can reach everything, just tighten these back down nice and snug. And you kind of want to go back and forth on them and make sure that each one is nice and snug and tight. And you don't have to go crazy tight on them. You just want them tight enough so that this isn't going to move when you pull on it. And then just gently rotate your display right back up into a position so that you can see it. And now you have your handlebars turned around. So you can see now the angle of this is coming much further back. We've made this reach right here a whole lot shorter. So this is a great way to just simply turn your handlebars around if you want to shorten the reach of your bike. Here's a quick example of how the Lectric folds up with the handlebars still in the normal position. So you can fold the pedals in, but I'm just going to fold it in half really quick just to show you. So you fold that part in half, set it down, and then you undo the handlebars right here. And this folds down and over to the right. And then you can see it's nicely folded up. Handlebars are folded down to the right side here. And now I'll show you what it looks like if you move the handlebars around and flip them. So now I want to show you how it folds up now that I've got the handlebars switched around. So if I click this and unfold it, and then fold it in half, and then you'll see now, because I have the handlebars flipped around, that when I fold this, it comes over onto this side. So you can see it doesn't fold up quite as well. You can kind of fold it up so that the handlebars are sort of in the middle, but it definitely doesn't fold down quite as easy if you rotate the handlebars. So this is really something to consider before rotating your handlebars. If you fold your bike up a lot, it's a little trickier to move it around folded. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, click the little thumbs up button. If you like more information on electric bikes or bikes in general, you feel free to subscribe to my channel. And if you've just recently purchased Lectric XP and want to know a whole lot more, I have a whole playlist right here of a whole bunch of tests and different upgrades and things that I've done with this bike. So you can look through those and hopefully it'll give you some good information. See you on the next video.